Good day and welcome to Mayo King's TV News. I am Timiela Emanuela. First, the headlines. Delta government demotes 2 senior engineers for corruption. Delta state government establishes conversion center of vehicles in the state. Nigerian government bans 60,000 litre fuel tankers from March 1st, 2025. Nigerians' US average $1 billion annual receipt under threat. On entertainment, Portable makes U-turn in Ogun as court grants him 2 million naira bail. On business, federal government confirms Nigeria imports 25 million litres of petrol daily. On foreign scene, Rwanda angered by US sanctions over DR Congo violence. Plus, NFFF sets deadline for CAF B license caution cost registration. Now the news in full. In a period of 2 weeks and some days after the suspension of 2 engineers from the Ministry of Works over their alleged involvement in substandard project executions was reported, the state government has announced the demotion of 2 senior engineers, Engineer Gabriel Evuarhere and Engineer Samuel Nwokolobia. They were involved in the supplying of certificates of completion for road projects that remained unfinished, a clear case of professional misconduct and administrative corruption. The sanctioned officials, Engineer Evuarhere and Engineer Nwokolobia, have been found guilty of corruption, dishonesty, and procedural breaches. As a consequence, Evuarhere has been downgraded from Deputy Director to Assistant Director, while Nwokolobia has been demoted from Assistant Director to Chief Engineer. The disciplinary action, communicated via a letter signed by William O. Ogolope on behalf of the head of service, confirmed that both officers were guilty of misconduct, which led to their next promotions being deferred. Additionally, Evuarere's advancement to Deputy Director postponed until January 1st, 2028, and Nwokolobia's promotion to Assistant Director delayed until January 1st, 2027. However, Governor Sheriff Oboiwori, while acknowledging the gravity of their offenses, intervened to soften the disciplinary measures, reducing their punishment from outright dismissal to rank reduction. Delta State Government and NIPCO Gas Limited have signed a Memorandum of Understanding (MOU) for the establishment of a compressed natural gas (CNG) conversion center of vehicles in the state. The brief ceremony took place in Asaba on Thursday with the Secretary to the State Government, Dr. Kingsley Emu, the Commissioner for Transport, Mr. Onoride Agofure, and the Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Mr. Ekemejero Oworevole, San, signing on behalf of the state government, while Mr. Sanjay Tarat signed for NIPCO Gas Limited. After the signing of the MOU, Dr. Emu said it was a deliberate effort for Governor Sheriff Oboiwori to provide a place for residents of Asaba to convert their petrol-dependent vehicles to CNG-powered ones. It challenged the company to ensure that it made good use of the place provided for the takeoff of the project, in addition to sticking to quality standard in handling the project. Meanwhile, Emu said that Governor Oboiwori takes seriously the issue of timeliness and quality and warned that the state would not hesitate to revoke the MOU if the company failed to perform accordingly. The team later moved to the site of the project on Summit Road by Interboa Roundabout, Asaba, for official handover. They were conducted round by the Commissioner of Transport, Mr. Onoride Agofure, who disclosed that CNG was more cost-effective than petrol and called on citizens to embrace it. The federal government of Nigeria has announced the ban of fuel tankers exceeding 60,000 liters from operating on Nigerian's road. The ban is expected to take effect from March 1st, 2025, as revealed by the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority (NMDPRA). The agency also specified that by the fourth quarter of 2025, no truck with a capacity exceeding 45,000 liters will be permitted to load petroleum products. Reportedly, between 2010 and 2025, over 2,500 truck accidents claimed more than 3,500 lives in Nigeria, with the deadliest incident occurring in Jigawa in 2024, where an overturned fuel tanker exploded, killing dozens and leaving a scarred mass grave. This led to the authorities stating that there would be a phased approach, beginning with the 60,000-liter ban and gradually scaling down to 45,000 liters by the fourth quarter of 2025. US President Donald Trump has shaken the whole world with the announcement of a freeze in all US foreign aid to almost all countries except for Israel and Egypt that were exempted and will still continue to receive military funding. Reluctantly, the entire world, especially the aid-dependent African nations, including Nigeria, is freaking out over the decision. The stoppage, which is for an initial period of 90 days, is consistent with Trump's promise of making America great again and ensuring that every dollar his country spends benefits its citizens. The period, according to the stop work order issued to the U.S. State Department and the U.S. Agency for International Development (USAID), which has now been shut down, will allow time for a review of all the foreign aid programs with a view of determining if a modification, termination, or a continuation is required. The period will also allow time to determine if the program aligned with Trump's foreign policy agenda. Consequently, a vast majority of Nigerians believe that the pause is a wake-up call for Nigeria to reduce its dependency on international funding and strengthen its healthcare system, to reshape Nigeria and force the leaders into restructuring the system. Now on entertainment news, Magistrate O.L. Oke of an Ogun State Magistrate Court sitting in Isabo, Abeokuta, on Thursday granted controversial singer Habib Okikiola, also known as Portable, a bail of 2 million naira and a surety in life sum. Portable is facing a 5-count charge for conspiracy, assault, possession of cutlass, guns to cause injury, and conducting himself in an unruly manner. The accused, however, pleaded not guilty of his charges. The 31-year-old controversial Zazu crooner, Habib Okikiola, also known as Portable, had on Thursday also made a U-turn, stating that he is mentally stable and healthy. The news recorded how the singer was declared wanted on Monday by the Ogun State Police Command for allegedly assaulting 3 officials from the Ogun Planning and Development Permit Authority. Following the declaration, Portable ranted on Instagram on Tuesday, saying he is a madman undergoing treatment at the Federal Neuropsychiatric Hospital in Aro, Abeokuta. However, the court adjourned the case till March 5, 2025 for hearing. Now on the business news. The federal government has disclosed that Nigerians' petrol consumption has dropped to 15 million per day, with local refineries supplying half of the daily requirement. The government claimed that the other half is being sourced through importation and clarified that none of the companies involved in domestic refining was involved in the importation. Speaking after a stakeholders meeting in Abuja, Executive Director, Distribution System, Storage and Retailing Infrastructure, Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, Mr. Ogugu Okaha, said that petrol importation became necessary to ensure that scarcity does not return to the downstream sector. Ukoha further disclosed that the authority has banned 60,000 litres capacity tankers from transporting petrol and other petroleum products beginning March 1st, 2025. The ban was imposed by the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, despite protests from truck owners. Also, it concluded that the high-level tankers also had a major impact on the state of Nigerian roads. Now on the foreign scene, the Rwandan government has condemned the US decision to sanction a government minister for his alleged role in the conflict in the east of neighboring Democratic Republic of Congo. Announcing the financial sanctions on Thursday, the U.S. Treasury Department said Rwanda's Minister of State for Regional Integration, James Kabarebe, a former army chief, was central to his country's support for the M23 rebel group. Also sanctioned was Lawrence Kanyuka, the M23 spokesman, as well as two companies he controls in Britain and France. And today, the UK has stated that there would be consequences for Rwanda over its alleged role in DRO Congo. Responding to the US move, Rwanda's foreign ministry said the sanctions would not resolve the conflict in the DRO Congo, terming the unjustified and unwarranted situation. However, addressing the G20 foreign ministers in South Africa on Friday, UK Foreign Secretary David Lammy termed the reported involvement of Rwandan troops as a blatant breach of the UN Charter, which risks spiraling into a regional conflict. Now on the world of sport. The Nigerian Football Federation (NFF) has announced that midnight on Tuesday, 25th February 2025, will be the deadline for registration for those who desire to participate in the forthcoming CAF B license coaching course that will run between April and August 2025. The course, according to the NFF Technical Director, Coach Augustine Iguavon, is designed to enhance the capacity of Nigerian coaches and prepare them for current and future challenges, and is for both men and women coaches. Recalling the last year, the NFF organized the CAF C license program exclusively for women, the first ever, which drew 30 women coaches from across the country, including a good number of former Nigerian international players. The three-module course took place between July and September 2024. So this year course will be held in April and August 2025. Now to end the news, a quick recap on our headlines. Delta government demotes two senior engineers for corruption. Delta state government establishes conversion center for vehicles in the state. Nigerian government bans 60,000 litre fuel tankers from March 1st, 2025. Nigerians' US average $1 billion annual receipt under threat. On entertainment, Portable makes U-turn in Ogun as court grants in 2 million naira bail. On business, federal government confirms Nigeria imports of 25 million litres of petrol daily. On foreign scene, Rwanda angered by US sanctions over DRO Congo violence. Plus, NFF sets deadline for CAF B license coaching course registration. That ends the news from Mayo Kings TV as read and edited by Tiniela Emanuela. Thanks for watching.